Welcome back, everybody. So my next movie review for you is The Dark Knight. So The Dark Knight, is it my favorite Batman movie of all time? The answer to that question is no. The 1989 Batman is my favourite Batman movie. It's the first one I ever watched. It's got a very, very special place in my heart, so that's always going to be my favourite. That being said, The Dark Knight is absolutely fucking fantastic in every single way. Is it my favourite out of the Nolan trilogy? It's difficult because I do generally love Batman Begins, strictly because we get a whole hour's worth of an origin story on how Bruce Wayne rises to be Batman, and it's just the feel of that movie in general. I absolutely love it. So if I was to choose, it's very difficult because they're like this. That being said, it's that The Dark Knight is still absolutely fucking epic. And I've reviewed this already before in the past on past channels, and any chance I get to review this, I'm going to take because I just generally love reviewing this movie for so many reasons. So, The Dark Knight once again sees the return of Christian Bale as Batman and Bruce Wayne, or Bruce Wayne and Batman, I should say. Go that way. We also get to see the return of Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon. We also got Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent and Two-Face, and we also have the late Heath Ledger as the Joker. I do apologise if I'm stuttering. I am suffering from a cold, so I'm trying to fight off sneezes, coughs, and I got a severely bad headache as well. But I thought I need to take my mind off it, so let's do a review. And this one it is. So, The Dark Knight follows 1 year after the rise of Batman in Gotham and how much crime is basically going down and how much the criminals are actually fearing this figure in Gotham, and basically to the point where he will beat the shit out of you anyway to basically bring down crime in Gotham. But we are teased with this brand new villain at the end of Batman Begins in the form of the Joker, which then creates a new threat in Gotham, a very difficult threat for Bruce Wayne and Batman in this movie. And I absolutely love him as a villain. Honest to God. Again, he is just awesome in this movie in every single way. And that posthumous Oscar that he won was well deserved. And if you didn't notice, I'm actually doing this review just before I watch the new Joker movie as well, because I'm doing this as a comparison to Jokers. I'm not going to choose a favourite, I never will be able to, but I'm just doing this just before I watch the new Joker movie, which I'm told is actually quite good. So I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, so The Dark Knight, this movie review. Here we go. I love it in so many ways. Once again, in this Christopher Nolan trilogy, what I love about this is the realism that he tries to put across with these movies. And again, in the second installment, you get to see that as well in so many ways. Batman is a little bit more vulnerable in this one. He knows there are certain points in this movie where he can't save everybody, and he's trying his hardest to basically stop a very unstoppable villain. And they play this off and they work this so fucking well in every single way. The way this was shot is absolutely fantastic. From the moment this movie started, I was in love with this. There are certain. I remember going into the cinema and watching this, and I was like a little kid. And I still am a little kid when I watch this movie now. You know, it's just one of these movies which I can sit down and watch, be entertained, and still get that rush that I got from that first time I ever watched it. I don't know what it is. It's just something about the way that they produced this movie, the way they put the story across, the way it was shot, the music, the musical score that come with this, especially with the Joker as well, just is absolutely fantastic in every single way. Now I've got that bit away. Now I can start talking about the actual performances in this movie. I mean, I could actually generally go on to things that I actually like. All of it. It's that simple. But performances in this are very good. Um, it's hard to know which one to start off with because I know who I want to start off with, but I'm going to go with this one first. Christian Bale's return as Bruce Wayne and Batman. You get to see him 1 year on after he become Batman. Crime is going down, but he is basically taking a toll for all this crime fighting in his spare time. You can get to see that. You can see he's very different. You can see he's a little bit more hardened, but yet you can see the stress that he's going through. There is a cracking scene where he's stitching himself up, and I don't know if they purposely did this, but they made him look like he is actually really, really tired, and he's actually struggling to actually fight the crime. And then with this new threat in Gotham, the pressure on him starts to mount up, and you actually try to kind of get to see that in this movie. He is basically struggling to fight this villain. He doesn't know his next move. He can't predict what he's going to do, so it makes it very, very difficult. And the way that Christian Bale actually put this across in this movie is absolutely brilliant, even to the point of the Bruce Wayne parts in this. Obviously, he still has a love for Rachel Dawes, and I love that kind of side of it. And he's trying to protect her, and he's trying to protect everything that he's doing, and he's not failing, but there are cracks starting to appear. And his performance in this, just as Bruce Wayne, was absolutely fantastic, and his performance as Batman in this again is absolutely brilliant. He's trying to figure out this criminal, and he can't, and it's played off. You can genuinely get a sense that Batman is actually vulnerable for the first time since he become Batman, but yet you also know that he's kind of learning and trying to figure out a way or to stop this villain as well. And it's just, I love what he did in here. It's something different from the first movie, and like I said, it's that vulnerability. He's actually facing a villain which he is going to struggle to stop, and I just love that performance in here. You get to see emotion, you get to see a bit of despair, you get to see his desperation to try and stop him and trying to save everybody from getting hurt as well. I think it's very, very well played by him in this movie, to be honest with you, because they did go all out in this second movie, and I just really, really enjoyed his performance in this. I probably enjoy his performance more in the second one than I do in the first one, strictly because of who he's facing and what he has to face. And I just generally love his performance as Bruce Wayne and Batman. Simple as, I'm a Batman fan. You can see it. You know I'm going to love the Batman scenes in this. I always do. There's not a lot wrong with the scenes that he's in. There isn't anything wrong with the scenes. There is one little bugbear that I have with this movie, which I'm not even going to mention, but generally, as a whole, I absolutely loved his performance in this. Once again, we get to see Gary Oldman return as Gary Oldman return as Commissioner Gordon. He takes more of a role in this movie. I do generally like his performance. Gary Oldman is a very, very good actor, and I think he suited the role as Commissioner Gordon in this series anyway. I'm just rushing through these because I want to get to the main one. Then we have Aaron Eckhart has Harvey Dent and Two-Face. This is a very, very interesting character in here. Now, Two-Face, I love Two-Face as a villain anyway. And as soon as Harvey Dent was announced in this movie, you knew you were going to see Two-Face at some point. But again, you get to see a decent origin story to him. It may not be the original origin story to Two-Face, but I do generally like what they did with this. Because essentially, he was just in love. He lost his love. He got burnt. The rage came in. And he did it very, very well. It's a Two-Face that I would love to see, not the shoddy Two-Face that I got to see in Batman Forever. Just very, very dark, very, very gritty. He's lost all emotion. There is nothing there apart from just chance. The coin, the 50-50. It was a very, very good interpretation of Two-Face, in my opinion. Yes, I know it doesn't follow maybe some of the storylines in the past, but it's still a very, very good take on that villain. And I generally love Aaron Eckhart as well in this. He is like this White Knight, and you could see what Batman was trying to do. He wanted to step away from being Batman because of the pressure. And with Harvey Dent taking down the criminals, you could see it. It's good. It was just a very, very good performance. Now, here we go. The big one. Heath Ledger, the late Heath Ledger as the Joker. I remember when they announced that Heath Ledger was going to be the Joker. And obviously the Joker is Batman's greatest villain, and I always thought it would be very, very difficult to beat Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Heath Ledger put his own take on this Joker, and he stole it. This was basically his movie. This technically wasn't even really a Batman movie. This was a Joker movie. It is that simple. And that posthumous Oscar that he got for this role was well deserved as well. The thing I love about this Joker performance and Heath Ledger as the Joker and what they did with the storyline of the Joker is how sketchy his past is. There is no consistency there, and I absolutely generally love it. Excuse me. You know, he tells stories of how he got his scars, and each and every single one of them is very different. And I just that side alone is just absolutely fantastic. He stole this show. It is just simple as that. You know, you think he's a little bit psychotic, but yet again, is he really, or does he know exactly what he's doing? And that is what I love. At some points you think, oh, he's actually a little bit psychotic, and then you think on the flip side of the coin, you go, actually, he isn't. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he won't stop the show. I just, it's just so good. There are so many different scenes of this I absolutely like, and for a villain to bring in a comedic element just before they kill somebody is just absolutely fantastic. The bit I'm on about is obviously the bit with the pencil. The bit with the pencil is probably one of the greatest scenes ever. The bit where he jumps out of the bag on the pool table is probably one of the creepiest scenes I've ever seen in a Batman movie ever, and very well played. Everything that he does in this movie is just absolutely fantastic. One of the greatest scenes out of this whole movie is the conversation between the Joker and Two-Face. You actually agree with kind of what he's saying, and you kind of agree exactly what he's doing as well. He is like the unmovable object against the unstoppable force, and that's basically, and it's mentioned in the movie, I know, but it's just something about his performance as the Joker. Like I said, I never thought that Jack Nicholson's Joker could ever be beat until this one, and I'm not saying he did beat Jack Nicholson. He's putting his own take on it, but he's just very good in every single way. He very much deserves. Very much deserved that posthumous Oscar for this role, because the way he portrayed this, the way they put this across, it is one of the best performances of a Joker I've ever seen, excluding Jared Leto's. That's a completely different Joker, and I haven't seen the new Joker movie yet, so it's. I could talk about his performance so much. I love every single bit of him when he's in this movie. The chemistry between the Joker and Batman in the interrogation cell is absolutely fucking amazing, and you get to see exactly how statistical and mentally strong this guy actually is. And you do actually kind of agree with what he's saying and what he's trying to do in certain ways, and that's why I just love it. And this is going back to the start of this movie review, the realism of the Christopher Nolan movies. He just uses bullets and guns and just creates anarchy in Gotham by just doing certain things, and everything else just falls into place. And it's just absolutely fantastic. The movie itself is a very enjoyable and entertaining watch. It has its suspenseful moments, it has its emotional moments, has its action moments, but he is one of the greatest. This Joker performance is one of the greatest villain performances in movies, in my opinion. Strictly because of everything I said. It is that simple. So, on that note, please tell me. No, if I was to rate this, actually, I would just give this. This is a fucking awesome movie. And if you haven't seen it, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get on and watch it. And then come back and tell me what you think and put it in the comments down below. So, on that note, I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Whatever you're doing, please take care and goodbye.